Welcome to Dino Loves Podcast. I'm your host, Bultum, and this is Terrific Talks, but with a new name, and excited to be back. Amazing things have happened since our last episode, and I can't wait to share with you in the upcoming episodes. Today's episode is an interesting one. We have one of the admins from a Facebook page, Barney's History Fans, and I'm lucky to have him today. How are you, Kalen?
Good, Bolton. Great to be here.
How are you during this pandemic?
Dude, some of us, we're more like depressed and all that, but like me, it's just, it's just kind of been whatever, I kind of made it a point to, up my, kind of like mental health and stuff like that. So, getting to interact with, fans like you, other types of people, it's kind of paring it away from, the outside world. So.
Yeah, I understand that. And I guess that's Barney brought us together to make us feel good.
Yep.
Speaking of Barney himself, how were you introduced to Barney as a kid?
Oh man. I was born in 99.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff was, popular at the time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, as big as Barney. There was Bear in the Blue House, which I did not watch at all. Sesame Street, I tolerated, but it wasn't really my, kind of like, cup of tea or whatever.
Right.
Blue's Clues was big.
Yes.
I kind of watched that too, but it didn't feel the same. So, I was just that bratty 2-year-old that just didn't want to watch any like, one of these educational preschool shows. And then one day, my grandfather brought home a VHS called Barney's Adventure Bus. And talked to my mom and was like, hey, you remember that purple dinosaur everybody was crazy about a couple years back? Let's try that with him. And since then I was hooked. They got just about every home video they can grab, every that they grab. To say that it was an influence on my life, it wouldn't do any justice to say that. But like I said, it was just like a very humbling experience, a very grateful experience from my childhood, to which today I still have, interacting with groups and stuff like that. So yeah,
that's great. Do you have a favorite memory with Barney himself?
Oh God, well, I never met the I guess the costume, I guess you could say.
Right.
We did plan a trip to Orlando right COVID hit, and that was going to be my personal chance. Actually, go down and finally meet him. But everything just fell flat on his face, and by the time we were going to roll around, try again the next year, they had unfortunately permanently shut down the attraction. But no, man. Childhood memory, I would say, besides watching home videos, I used to I used to kind of implicate episodes and put my own spin on it. I guess reenact episodes or like home videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So after I get done watching one, I'll like reenact, as Barney, with the tiny dino hands, stuff like that. So
yeah.
So that was probably my fondest memory. And they were doing their job in terms of always using your imagination and always pretending. So that was my sort of way of doing that kind of creative thinking and creative playing.
Yeah. I did get the chance to meet Barney back in 2016, and it was my first time with my little brother, and he was 3 years old at the time, so we got to meet Barney as a little child as well, and he had no idea how big he was. The way
Right,
how tall he was, it's amazing how intimidating to be in front of a 7 foot tall dinosaur.
right. Well, you know, I
And
used to have like a big fear of amusement park mascots, and I've always felt like if I, first of all, if I ever saw the character, I'll be probably shell shocked, but at the same time, it's just like you got to understand it's just a guy or a girl, in the suit, playing a character. It's not gonna I guess eat you or whatever. So,
right. Do you have a favorite home video?
oh my God, there's so many. Well, you know, technically it's not like a home video, but
Mm.
it was released through one, and my all-time favorite, I guess, production that they did was the movie.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, and nowadays it gets a lot of flack for some weird reason, but
Yeah.
I think what we were given. I think that was a great little motion picture that they put out. I actually rewatched it a couple of days ago. They had somebody on YouTube had screen recorded the one that was on Peacock for a while, and
Okay.
yeah, they reconfigure it to be more like widescreen HD, with
Mhm.
color saturation boosts and stuff like that. It looks beautiful. Like, the
You
whole
get
time I
to
was
see the fleece more.
right, right. The fleece and like, just the color grading. It just looked, fantastic. But other than that, again, Adventure Bus, I mean, that's a classic to me. What a World We Share is actually, that's actually a pretty good
Mhm.
uh in terms of like storytelling and stuff like that. So
Right.
yeah, other than that,
For me,
I
it would definitely would be Imagination Island.
yep,
Yeah, it was a
that
good
too.
story. Had great character, Professor Tinkerbutt.
Right,
Stephen White did a
right,
good job on it.
right. Another one I would say is probably Big Surprise.
Hmm.
For them to be like the first national stage tour and to be like that good, I was just
Mhm.
like, man, they're going
They
places.
didn't have like big companies like Feld or V Corporation. It was just
Right,
themselves.
right, right,
Amazing how they pulled it off.
right.
As you know, we've lost so many cast and crew from the series through the years, such as like
Hmm.
recently was Phyllis Cicero, Stella the Storyteller. Back in 2015, we lost Jean Ray Price, who played Miss Kepler,
Hmm.
and the choreographer, Miss Penny Wilson. How much did each of them impact on you?
Oh well, not to disrespect their legacy or what they brought to the franchise or what they brought to themselves and their families and
Mm.
stuff like that. It was primarily Barney that really impacted my life. Just the character and the whole message of love and imagination and stuff like that. It really impacted me in a way to where I use that creative thinking and use that sort of methods in my life today. But in terms of those three, I mean, huge losses. I'm sure the the cast and crew they're probably grieving as much as us fans.
Yep.
But I'd say Phyllis. At that time they were trying to like expand that kind of I guess you call it Barney universe at that time.
Yep.
I think she was a great addition. What she brought, since the show was already about, inclusion and diversity, it
Yep.
was, refreshing to see, uh, a character, not even a character, just a human being within that space of art color to,
Yeah.
just, sit everybody down, take a breath from, all, crazy wackiness is going on within the show, just sit down, tell, a story or whatever, something in that nature.
Hmm.
Miss Kevlar, we didn't see much of her. I didn't really, have a real impact from,
Right.
watching her episodes or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, Miss Penny, yeah, that I'd say that's probably a definite loss for that whole production staff as well as the fans. I mean, I feel like without her, we would never have, some of the astounding
The famous songs, like this
yeah,
famous dances, like probably the hand motions to Mr. Knickerbocker or something.
right. Right. And I feel, me personally, I feel like, she had a lot of impact on a lot of those people's lives, especially the cast. I mean, I remember Pia Hamilton in one of her, on a Purple Tales podcast, she had mentioned, how much of a influence that she had from her, just, taking under her wing and stuff like that. So, such huge losses, my condolences, go out to, their families and, all their close friends, and of course,
Yeah.
the production staff that, was considered family. So
Yeah. And we also lost the attraction, A Day in the Park with Barney, about a year ago. Uh, what are your thoughts about it?
well, you know, to have attraction, last for 25 years, that's just like an achievement on its own. I mean, for us fans, we would just feel like, it would just go on forever. But I also, I just had that feeling, generally speaking, because attractions, as we know, don't really last that long.
Yeah.
So, and since that was so like popular and so successful, and for just a virus, just shut that down, in and of itself, it's just like wow. So, uh, yeah, like I said, I wish I would have had the opportunity, just go down there, meet the characters, you know, have that experience, see the attraction itself. I mean, the show, just the set itself, there was a Boo House, which looked, kind of fun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You go into the park and you see the stage and stuff like that. They dim the lights, they had the Barney doll on stage, so,
Yep.
and, I feel like, with the current resurgence that's going on with the franchise, I feel like, there could be a space for another, attraction theme for Barney. I found out a couple months back through an article, seeing that Mattel that was opening a theme park in
Right.
Arizona, I believe.
Yep.
And
Arizona. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So I know obviously they're going to promote Thomas a lot, and there's going to be like a Hot Wheels ride and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
hopefully there's a space that they have for Barney over there, whether it's like a meet and greet or a little sing along or something like that. Uh, you know, he's such the property itself is such big and so like huge on its own. You have to like do something with that. So
Yeah. It's what's interesting about Barney's like property and all that. It's like he's been still be doing like live shows and meet and greets after the show has ended like back in 2010.
right, right. Well, yeah, he has there's a big kind of I guess nuance overseas. I know like Malaysia,
Yep. Singapore, yeah. South
Singapore,
Africa.
South Africa. Yep. Uh,
Hmm.
Dubai. They had there's been a second Barney attraction over there.
Yep.
At the Mattel Park or stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, the franchise is so huge and has such a like an impact on pop culture and American history. They I personally think something is going to happen within the next maybe year or so. We'll see. Obviously with the upcoming documentary,
Yeah.
I guess the movie is still happening, I guess, and other stuff. It's just, it's just a matter of patience and waiting and stuff like that. So it's just only a matter of time.
Yep. And speaking of the documentary, what are you expecting and excited to see?
Oh man, well, it came out of left field, to say the least. I mean, yeah, the morning it got announced, I was just like, what? Like, this is like, like this is crazy, so, just to have something, like I said, to have such a hard impact on today's generation, and for many of the older generation and people who just didn't understand it, just bash it and stuff like that, it was unnecessary, and very disrespectful, to everybody who put the work in, and
Yeah.
to the people who were like helping, kids like us, kids of future generations, have that state of mind, everybody is special, everybody should be loved, and so on and so forth. So, I hope they cover that aspect. I do hope they cover a lot of a breakdown of the franchise's history, from where
like
it all began.
the beginning to probably like the end of like Hit Era or something.
Right. Maybe like I kind of broke it down in my head. So like, kind of like, the beginning with, the whole backyard gang videos, them going to PBS, getting canceled, right off the bat, after season 1, and coming back, switching production studios, switching production companies, going to Montreal, filming a movie, getting purchased by a hit, and, the backlash from, new stuff like Riff, and the kind of new format that they implemented.
Pistachios.
That, and and maybe all leading to where we are today with the Mattel purchase, stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm like I said, I'm willing and hoping that this instance and this sort of project kind of amplifies, regenerates, and like reboots, the franchise. Because like I said, Mattel is sitting on like thousands
huge
of
property.
Right. And Barney being, a net worth of, I want to say 250 million.
Really?
Something I checked. Yeah. It's well, of course, 1 year it pulled in like $1 billion, but yeah, like I said,
so he was a billion dinosaur then.
Yep. Both literally and financially. So
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, something's bound to happen, and like I know Dean Went had mentioned in one of his interviews that the show is on hiatus, and technically, yeah, when a show of that stature is canceled in terms of like newer like production and stuff like that, but reruns are still happening. That means it can come back at any time, but
right.
At the same time, nothing is fully considered or obliged. So yeah.
Speaking of Dean, what was your what's that word I'm thinking of? Like, what is your thought of like when Barney's was switching voice actors from Bob West and then it went to Duncan, to Tim, and to Dean.
Oh man. Well, as a kid, you don't really notice that kind of stuff until there's a big change. So of that nature. So like the videos in between season 6 and season 7, since the voice was so like close to what Bob did, you never really pick up or notice some of that stuff. So yeah, he didn't really give like a clear explanation of why he didn't want to leave, but I guess 12 years of
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years of portraying one of the most iconic children's characters. I guess that can be teetering and tiring. So I can understand where Bob was coming from with that. Tim, yeah, I wish he would have stayed. Well, at least for a series or two. I had learned through the my Facebook group that his wife had cancer or something of that nature. Well, she survived.
Oh, okay, good.
So yeah, I guess what that having kids at the house, that was, I guess he couldn't handle the workload anymore. Just decided veer off and to do whatever he's doing now.
Yeah,
that
I've heard like he's either a manager of a company or he's a CEO of something.
Right. I figured since like his daughter's like a super famous like actress right now, probably I guess managing her or something like that. So who knows? But yeah. In terms of my opinions on Dean, for a voice actor and voiceover artist, he's perfect.
Yeah.
Like I was looking through his website a couple months back, and somebody had called him like the one take wonder, in which I can see that like for him, have that background of starting Radio Disney, having this immaculate career of voiceover and voice acting. It's very it's very inspiring. But in terms of his Barney, it's different.
It's different, yeah.
To say the least. I'd say, he tried his first couple like
his first
episodes.
Few seasons, yeah.
Yeah, he tried,
Yeah, like I think season 7 was like he was learning how to do the voice, and then probably around season 8 he was like getting better.
Right.
And by season 9 he's got it.
Right. So yeah, there's actually like a nighttime toy that he did when he first got the role, and he was like spot on in terms of like impersonating what Bob had did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, starting off, like you said, he was just kind of like learning the character and learning how implicate his voice. As time went on, it was just like more of a different take on the character.
Right.
If that's a greater explanation. So yeah, I guess we'll hear his story in the documentary and see how.
Hope so.
Right, to see how his take kind of influenced children of our generation and stuff like that. And like before we continue, like it was crazy because I was watching him and Carrie on TV while Bob and David were on home video. So I was watching 2, 3, or maybe 4 generations at the same time.
Right.
So yeah, it was I got to experience just about every aspect of the franchise, but I love it all.
What's different, like I think like with Bob and Dean is almost kind of like the same, how they were learning the voice. Right. With like Bob, he couldn't maintain the low voice, so he had to make it up higher. And with Dean, he couldn't do the higher parts, so he had to go lower.
Right. Opposites.
Yeah. Opposites attract.
Right.
Yeah. We were talking about Dean and Carrie and Bob and David. Which Barney do you have more connection with?
Do you mean in terms of the body and voice actors?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, David, I'd say David is Barney. He everything that he brought to, to the energy, the physicality, the just the mannerisms and stuff like that, he really made the character. I mean, like I said, he is Barney.
Yeah.
And you like I said, you don't really pick stuff up when you're like a kid or whatever. Like, I always consider Barney to be like a real being, like a real person. And that was all because primarily of him, just how energetic he made it feel, from, like I said, the physicality and, how, bopped the mouth, up and down. It was just, so like pristine and so pristine and so like just spot on, like I said. So yeah, he and just to find out that he's one of us.
Yeah.
Just to find out that one of the most impactful characters of this generation, the man portraying him was Black. It's just like wow, like like I said, you don't really pick up on stuff like that because like when I was a kid, I just didn't see a costume moving around. I just saw Barney.
Yeah.
Voice actor, obviously Bob. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, he truly made, I'd say, the character's personality, while also hitting the emotional beats. Like, obviously Barney's happy all the time, but when somebody else isn't, he's gonna have that soothing voice, try to comfort them, try to see, why are they feeling, the certain way that they are, stuff like that. So Tim actually did a good job of that as well. So
yeah.
Duncan, I hear more of his Chuck E. Cheese than I do Barney. It's just like, I'd rather hear, somebody else, but not to divert.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay. We were talking about this earlier about like rumors about Barney's like a revival and possibly a movie in the works. What are your thoughts of like if it's gonna come back?
well, like I said, it has to. Corporations and stuff like that, they just can't sit on like big huge properties such as Barney and just let it collect dust. And I'm sure someone at Mattel, somebody at 9 Story, they're looking at it, and it's just like it's only a matter of time when they think a clear market is for the franchise, have that revival and stuff like that to introduce it to a new generation of kids. And with the pandemic, it's just like kids, like kids really need to learn and feel a sense of love oozing into their body and stuff like that. So I think it's a perfect time to bring it back.
Yeah.
not just for the more pristine stuff that's going on, like with the doc and the movie and stuff like that. And like, I legit think this is a perfect time, just have that like I said, that revival and stuff like that. So I don't yeah, I feel like it's in quiet production and they're trying to maybe, veer in a lot of like some of the old production staff and stuff like that to, help bring it back. But yeah, we just never know. I saw that you saw it as well. The TV Kids Daily convention.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, with the CEO, I guess, of Mattel TV.
I think it was general manager of Mattel Television.
Right. Fred Soli?
Fred Solier, I think it's French.
Solier.
Yeah.
Okay. Fred. Okay. Yeah. He it sounded like he had an accent, but yeah, just watching that and not generally getting a clear indication of what's to come. He did specify that there's at least, like he said, like 25 projects in the works.
Yeah.
So
probably that's why it's taking so long with the reboot.
Well, we almost had that one in 2017 that was announced in 2015 that we since found out was
it was going to be a little Barney.
Yep.
Based
toddler.
off one of their plushes in 2005.
Right. Which it's a kind of a good idea, like
at the same time,
but at the same time, it's just like on screen, it's just like, what is this? And
it's weird for the character because Barney's the one who teaches the kids, but someone's going to be teaching Barney all this stuff.
Right. So yeah, I kind of got it. They just wanted to cater more to the toddler audience to say, hey, this influential character is your age now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can learn the lessons that you're trying to learn as well. So yeah, I'm happy we didn't get it. So
it's kind of like with the Thomas series now, with the All Engines Go series. It's a little bit like in the toddler side, but at the same time, Thomas is like learning all this stuff.
Right. I think a lot of those properties now are kind of verging in that direction right now. I mean, like the well, it's since been wrapped up now, but the Ben 10 series that was more like catered to like young children, like almost to that preschool level. So
yeah,
and
whatever. People don't know this, but one of the lead voices for that series, it would be one of the kids from Barney.
Was it the one who played Gwen?
Yeah. It would be. I don't know how to say her name, but I'll say her character's name. It would be Natalia from the later years of Barney. It would be like in season 13.
Right. Yeah. I looked that up the other day and I was just like, small world. So,
yeah. It's interesting how like the kids who were on Barney had successful careers, like Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato. One of the kids from the later years has his own Netflix show called Never Have I Ever. One kid is on Hamilton.
One of the girls from the later years. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and the Pia Hamilton is on the Lion King musical.
Right. One of the girls from the later years, is going to be in the upcoming Uncharted movie with Tom Holland.
It's interesting about that because I looked at her IDMB. I've never seen her like as a kid on the show.
I think she's more of a extra or a background character.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I think she was in a few episodes, and then she was in the fair video as well. Maybe as like a I guess balloon handler, or one of the kids that's in the fair. But like I said, to kind of diverge where we were talking about, whatever we get, I hope it's good. If it's not, we can always have that, that one little thing we call the internet to voice our opinion. So yeah, hopefully, and I think they know it works better if it's live action. If the character has the same elements that he's always had, and to drive it home, he has to be like the same age. Don't cater to you can cater. You obviously cater to like the preschool age, but don't make the character preschool age.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, like I said, whatever we get, I'm hoping it's good, and whatever Daniel Kaluuya does with this supposed upcoming movie.
I did see a trailer for another Daniel Kaluuya movie. It just came out Sunday, I think.
Nope.
Yep. Nope.
Yep.
Another horror movie.
Right. So I think that's the main issue of why nothing's getting the gears turning in terms of this production, because he's doing so much in terms of that. I'm fairly certain he's going to be in the next Black Panther movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, which they're currently filming, and in terms of like production right now, Mattel is actually they're gearing up for a Barbie live action movie.
Yeah,
so they probably want to.
I think that's in filming or whatever. Maybe it's in development.
I think it's in pre-production. They've already cast it, but I guess they're like maybe scouting locations, and, punching up the script and stuff like that. So
yeah,
they probably want to get that out the way before they fully focus on, having this, kind of like I like to call it this whole Christopher Robin style Barney movie.
Yeah, that's what I thought with this upcoming movie. Like, how is Barney's story gonna be in the movie?
Right. How does he react to this current culture?
Yeah. But I have other ideas of how the movie would have turned out. It would have been like it's like how we were introduced to Barney with the Backyard Show. Maybe this movie would be like the next generation meeting Barney for the first time.
Right. Yeah. So, whatever they do, like I said, it's Mattel. Since they handle so many like, children's properties, I'm sure they're gonna like at least do us the fan service, just kind of look back at like what worked, and what didn't, just kind of implement that within the movie and stuff like that. And Bob has actually started like kind of like a tiny campaign, get him casted as the voice. So yeah, we'll
see.
Just have to wait. Right.
Or kind of wanted to see how Dean's how he does the movie.
Well, considering if he does want to do it, so
yeah. I did contact him a few years ago. He said I asked if he was going to be like in the reboot at that time when it was announced, and he said it's up to Mattel.
Right. Which I believe he's still contracted I think he's still considered as like the voice, like for instance the Jerry Franklin retirement party. When they came back, they didn't ask Bob, they asked,
Dean and Carrie people, to do it.
Right, the specific people who had who were the latest people who were at the end run of the production and stuff like that. So yeah.
It's interesting about like that story with Jerry Franklin. Like Carrie told that story in one of like Purple Road's experiences. Like Dean had to put him in the costume since the Wrangler didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, they said they had a costume wrangler there, and he was just like, I've never seen anything of this stature before. I don't know how to get you in. And like you said, like Dean had to, I guess, lift the costume, drop them in, zip everything down, make sure all the triggers, stuff work and stuff like that. So really funny. So
life on the latest Life on the Purple Road, he did say his clothes were in the suit.
His clothes were in the suit?
Yeah.
You mean like the
clothes he was wearing, I think for the last event he did.
So was he trying to implant that like he changes in the suit while in the suit, or like
I guess whenever he goes to an event, he can just put his clothes up inside the suit, and then when he's there, he can just change inside.
That is impressive. I had to.
I never even thought of that.
And that's like that's like the only full body Barney suit, because they had finally, connected,
the ankles and the feet,
the leg, and everything else in between. It's just like, how does he do that?
Lots of questions with that suit.
Right.
All right. So, if Barney was here right now, what would the one advice he would say to a child right now?
Oh, well, I guess, to quote a song from the Great Adventure soundtrack, dream until your dream comes true.
Right.
That, and when you love someone, that's a reflection of how you love yourself. If you're primarily just mean to someone, that means you just kind of hate yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess love yourself first before love others around you, because when you're comfortable with who you are, you'll be comfortable with the people around you. So yeah, those two things I think ring true to the message that he inspires and continues to penetrate into our minds.
Yeah, I believe so. It's like keep using your imagination, and you're always loved and all that.
Right.
Always make sure that you're safe, and he wants you to use your imagination.
Right. Always trust your imagination too.
Yeah.
Right.
Be a good friend. Lots of things he taught us.
Right.
Oh man. 30 years of this character and the TV show is about to turn 30 this April. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, not to correct you, but 33 years. The franchise, but yes, 30 years of upcoming with the TV show. What an achievement. I mean, for this to last so long, and like I said, to have it to let it have such an impact on so many people's lives throughout these 30 years and still be, relevant is quite an achievement. I kind of put up a sort of a poll. I think you saw it earlier yesterday of, which eras of Barney Friends is your favorite,
No.
And of course, everybody, who was born pre 2000 said, Lions or, Lyric. Lyric's my favorite. So, yeah, like I said, what an achievement, for a show that was never, really on a major network.
Yeah. Not like on Disney or Nickelodeon.
Right. Just like this simple public access television.
Yep.
And, to, just jump almost overnight to global status and, popular status, it's such an achievement. And, hopefully, if we do get like some type of revival, they could go back to that format and go back to that specific title as well.
Yeah.
So, I feel like, the fans, including me, you, anybody and everybody involved, I think we're going to do our part, celebrating this journey and celebrating, this wonderful achievement. And because between me and you, Mattel's not going to do anything. So, yeah, whatever happens, I feel like, we're going to continue to honor the character and honor, the people who made such, great content over the span, whether it was, the Lions Group, Lyric Studios, Hit Entertainment, Mattel Television, whoever it is, I think, whatever happens, we'll always fall back on what worked, and, we'll always have that feeling of content with, the show.
And where can people find you?
Well, my Instagram is _KDenton_. That's _KDNTN_. You can find me on Facebook. Real easy to find. Just search my name. Of course, you can find my group, myself, Andrew Olson, Jackson Gates, a couple other people who both moderate and administer the group. You can find us on Barney History Fans. We cover basically behind the scenes, little tidbits, fun facts, kind of just, circling the whole historic premise of what the franchise has brought. And, sometimes, we share our own thoughts and stuff like that. We just crossed 1,000 followers, 1,000 members to be more pristine. So it was a great achievement. And you can also find my channel on YouTube called Terrific Tributes. I basically do a bunch of like montages and compilations and this tribute videos. We're about to cross 500 subscribers. Whoop.
Yay!
So, yeah, it's been it's been a journey, since I've kind of started interacting with fans and stuff like that. It's been a blessing, touch back with my childhood and stuff like that. So, yeah, find me wherever you think you can find me.
I can't thank you enough, Kaylin, for coming to today's episode.
Well, thank you for having me.
I hope we get to hear from you soon, and hope you can come back anytime.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to today's episode. Make sure to follow Dino Loves Podcast. Links in the description below, right down there. And remember, if you need something special, all you need to do is make a wish, and Barney will be there. We'll see you next time.